In the previous video, I demonstrated how to take your grandmother and connect that through 5-pin MIDI into your Mother 32, and then how to assign the assign output to have the clock out. That feeds into a DFAM and how to link everything up together. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how having that kind of setup allows you to have a lot of cool patch points and a lot of interesting things to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the volume on everything except for my grandmother. And I'm going to make sure that the DFAM is advanced to 8. I'm going to make sure that I press the reset. And now my transport is going to play everything. Actually, let's get the run stop going. So we'll prep that. And now when I press play on my grandmother transport, that's going to start all of the sequences, but we won't hear them. And I'm going to press a key on the grandmother to voice it so that there's a sequence happening here as well. So here we go. On the Mother 32, I'll introduce that. And then I'll bring in the drums. I'm going to bring down this a bit. And there's our drums. So that's the sequence we built in the previous video. And now I want to do some cool things. So first off, I want to take the grandmother, bring down the volume just a touch. There we go. Maybe I'll just like filter there. That allows me to talk a little bit better. So I want to do a technique that is shown in one of the Moog YouTube videos, and it's how to take your modulation section and turn that into a third oscillator. I'm going to take the wave output and I'm going to run it into the mixer section, into the noise input. Let's bring down the volume so I don't hear it quite yet. And then I need this modulation to track with that sequence that we've written. So the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to grab another cable. And I'm going to take the keyboard out, and I'm going to run that into the rate input. So now if I introduce that noise, let's bring down here, and I'm going to drop down the volume of everything, except for that noise, which is essentially the modulation. And now I can use this to change that tone, and we'll introduce the other oscillator. Let's introduce the first oscillator. I'm going to turn the sync off. Find another point. I like that. Alright, so now that's one technique that I can do to play with it, but now I want to take like that setup and still be able to have it there, but then take the keyboard output and use that for other parameters. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take off the keyboard out and the rate in, and I'm going to send that to a mult. So let's go keyboard out into the mult. And I'll just complete that circuit we had before by taking another mult and going into the rate input. So that essentially achieved what this one cable was doing, but now I have other patch points for the keyboard output. So I can take my keyboard out now, and I can run it into other parts of my rig. So I'm going to bring that down a bit. I'm going to hear more from the Mother 32. And now I have the keyboard output that I can feed into the Mother 32. And let's try a couple of different things. Let's see what happens with the mod. I like that. It kind of adds. I think you hear better there. can play with that a bit if we want to. But now I want to take that. Let's see what the LFO rate sounds like. I kind of like the combination. Let's try this. Let's go to the mult from the keyboard out into the mult of the Mother 32, and now I can do a bunch of cool stuff. So now I can take this mult 1, and I'm going to go to the VCF cutoff. I can bring that cutoff frequency down to a place where it just gets engaged. And I can hear that performance there. So that's pretty cool. Let's bring the drums back in. I do have another mult point that I can use as well. So let's go into that mult out. And maybe the keyboard part will control the noise level. And we'll bring up that noise level to a point where we can hear it. That's really cool. So now let's bring down the volume of everything. And now I have this noise level being controlled by my keyboard part. And we'll bring back in everything else. And my transform on my grandmother will stop everything. There we go. So that's a way that you can have everything networked and linked together, and then use the different parameters to control other synths and that sound setup. Thanks for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know.